And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestle Pierce Raw Review. Early start time today, folks, because I have some obligations to handle later today. So if you're with us for this early start time, thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is the Wrestle Pierce Raw Review, and I'm your host, Ibu of Wrestle Pierce, better known to many of you guys on Twitter as Back of Hangman. And I'm joined as usual by my usual co-host, the great Viva La Jana, and Rob of the Island of Relevancy. And we also have a little bit of a guest here. It's Wrestle Pierce Worldwide's very own. It's the
Fuck,
Wrestle Pierce
man.
It's the Wrestle Pierce podcast's very own. Former regular of the Wrestle Pierce Dynamite Review. It's Montel WP. Monty is here with us, at least for the start of this Raw review. And so we'll start with him immediately. Monty, how are you feeling right now? Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling about the road to WrestleMania, sir?
How am I feeling about the road to WrestleMania? Not flawless, but it's been pretty good, I think. Obviously, last night was a pretty major turn in the sense of the Intercontinental title, because obviously everyone was expecting Gable to win. There's probably still some things to play out there, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think overall, I'm not overly disgusted by anything other than, you know, what I was saying just before we went live. Not a fan of the six pack ladder match. What is that? 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed tag titles. I'm not exactly fired up about that, but you know,
I'm fine with it only because a lot of teams that I think deserve to be at WrestleMania will be on the show, and you combine that with the fact that I'm not going to get the match that I really didn't want to happen, which is Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day. Clearly, they realized themselves that that would have been a fucking joke, so they consolidated it all into one match. I would have been personally fine, Monty, with 2 4-way tag showcases, one on one night for each brand, and that would have been fine. I would have been totally fine.
no, just really quick because I know we're just doing the intro, and I'm only going to be here for a cup of coffee anyway. But I think my thing about it mainly is that where we look at where the tag titles were last Mania, the main event is one of the nights, and it was absolutely tremendous, you know.
Right.
But now we're going into this WrestleMania, like the best, like the most engaging story they've got going into it in the tag division is fucking Awesome Truth and Judgment Day. So it's more kind of like what that 6-pack ladder match represents to me is like that's the best story they've got going into Mania, and it's not even a match that they're confident enough to just do a straight up singles match because, like you said, let's be honest, that's probably wouldn't be great, would it? So
you know, it's funny. I would have, timing wise, I would have delayed the DIY Judgment Day match and just heated that up for Mania season. To be honest, the one that they had in January that was very good.
So he was trending in the right way. He was kind of trending in the right way. Like even if they did a 4-way tag match, but it was 3 contenders that have been on the grind recently, getting themselves over, British Strong Style, DIY,
New Day,
and a New Day.
They've been really doing well lately.
Yeah.
So something like that would have been I would have absolutely loved something like that compared to what we've got. But again, it is what it is. So.
I have no issue with the multi-person ladder match. My problem is that 6 teams might be too much. We'll get into it more later, but I don't think I've ever seen a ladder match of 12 people. And the 10-person ladder match they did in 2010 at WrestleMania 26 is a mess. But we'll get into that more in a bit. Rob, how are you doing today, sir? It's an early start time. Are you all right? Are you discombobulated?
Yes, sir. I woke up. I woke up this morning, cut some grass earlier, a couple hours ago. I was gonna be potting at work, but then I was like, nah, I'm not doing all that. So I stayed home and I got ready to pod. So I'm interested. I'm very, very sad about Chad Gable, but it is what it is. Triple H. He misses more than he, swings. So
you know what he really is, bro. He's ultra conservative as a booker.
I don't
listen, and he is he's way too content with taking his time on things. And sometimes I think he should just have confidence that he can organically come up with something on the fly. He has this. You know what he does when he books? He's like, oh my god, we gotta save this because we don't know what's gonna happen in May, so we need something for May. Oh, let's save this for the summer because we don't know. We need something for the summer. Have faith sometimes. Just show some guts.
It's like, bro, there are times to finish a story and there are times to do the whole, oh, I'm not, the story's not finished yet. Last night was not one of those times, bro.
Yeah, we'll get into it in the implications for Chad Gable. But before we go any further, Jonna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. We're outside in beautiful
Mhm.
Florida. I just decided, I wanted to inspire everybody to touch some grass today. We're
Mhm.
surrounded by grass. And yeah, we're having a good day.
Oh, we're happy to have you guys. Please make sure to like the video, comment, send super chats.
Yeah.
The Chad Gable situation is a hot button topic, guys. It's a really, really hot button, heated topic here. We find ourselves in a position where Sami Zayn is going to face Gunther. These are two of the best wrestlers in the world, but like a lot of people are just very disappointed about it, understandably because of the setup, and as a result, it's led to a lot of debate. So send us your super chats. Give us your feedback on this Chad Gable situation with Sami Zayn. What do you think is going to happen? What are your thoughts on the decision? What are your thoughts on the Gauntlet? I thought it was like the best main roster match of the year, pretty comfortably because of how it started and especially because of how it ended. Monty, I know you reposted the Chad Gable post match comments, which were just amazing. And it's funny, Monty. He took a shot at the ladder match in that thing. I don't know if you caught it because they're asking him like, what's your path to Mania? What are you gonna do? And but Monty, he said like, I'm not gonna fucking like. He said, I'm not gonna just be in some fucking shrapnel match, some fucking like just what I mean. Like, he basically like that's bullshit. Like I'm not gonna be in that type of multi-person bullshit. Like he wanted a personal situation, a personal story, and that's the path to Mania that he wanted. So he took a shot at that. But in case you missed it, guys, they did a 6-pack gauntlet match last night, and the winner was going to face Gunther at WrestleMania. And ultimately, the final two came down to Sami Zayn and Chad Gable for about 15 minutes to close Raw. And these guys had a sensational back and forth match. And ultimately, Chad Gable, after multiple ankle locks, he's bleeding from the mouth. He attempted the moonsault like twice. He unfortunately got pin countered after an ankle lock, and he supposedly lost. At least as of now, he lost. And Sami Zayn is going to WrestleMania, and Gunther is not. So that's kind of the situation, guys. You got again, send super chats. Let us know what you think about it. Because Monty's here, we'll do this slightly in reverse order. We'll talk about the big thing right away. First and foremost, what did you guys think of the Gauntlet? I'll start with Monty. What did you think of the Gauntlet, Monty? And what do you think about all the conversation coming out of the Gauntlet match?
The Gauntlet match itself, I thought, with the pieces that they had, I thought initially they could have actually done a better lineup, but with the pieces that they had, I thought it was a really, really good match. I thought Sami Zayn's performance throughout, the largest chunks of the match were pretty much phenomenal. To be honest, I think his wrestling mind is just so good. It doesn't matter if he's working a 6-minute match on TV, a tag match like we've seen him do a lot of last year. We've seen him in main event singles time and time again, and he kills it. And it's like even in a gauntlet match or anything he can really sink his teeth into and tell a story within ring. He's just so good at like connecting with people and weaving things in and out of his matches. He's just and Chad Gable as well. Just Jesus Christ, mini angle. I know that's like a cliche to throw it in, but it's like you see him fucking screaming, I need this, I need this. He's fucking bleeding from the mouth. It's just this ball of testosterone, and it's just like he's very Angle-esque at times, which is, as high of a compliment you can give, you know. Ricochet, I thought he was good at the start.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
I
he
was
was
so
really
happy
good.
for him.
Really good.
I was so happy for him, Monty, because like he had been off. He got that concussion that 4-way like months ago. They took him off the road. He came back to TV. They stopped using him, and then recently he's doing this thing where he's like, "When am I gonna eat? When am I gonna da da da?" And he backed it up, put his money where his mouth is. Some information, Monty. Originally, Ricochet was going to open the match straight up with Bronson Reed and then lose, and Sami was going to beat 3 straight guys. But WWE opted against it because they were like, nah, we should let Ricochet showcase himself. And so that's why they changed the order and had JD, because JD was going to fight Sami. They changed it and had JD against Ricochet, and I was just happy for him because, like, you know, he got to do a lot of his cool shit. He did a Death Valley driver on the apron. He did a Fosbury flop, a tope, a shooting star press. He did like the craziest lion salt I've ever seen, Monty. Like in terms of like height and like just gliding in the air with the lion salt, like, oh man, it put Jericho to shame. And I'm talking even prime Chris Jericho. He did a line, like JD beat the 10 count, and Ricochet, he does a lion salt, then turned it into a Northern Light suplex into a brain buster. So there was some sick stuff there. But yeah, man, that final 2 months, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable. I think I saw you tweeted. You said I'm standing, right?
Yeah, I stood up. When Chad Gable came down and Sammy's just laid out. Chad Gable comes down and he's ready to go. You know, like, this is the most important match of his career. Like, he's ready. You know, he's ready. Like, he drags Sami Zayn up to his feet. And he's like, "Let's fucking go! Like, it's WrestleMania." Sami Zayn's like, he's on his own story as well. Trying to get into WrestleMania, it means everything to him as well, and he's trying to battle through this, and he's just all fucked up. It's just
like I said 2 weeks ago on the Wrestle Period, this review. Literally, it's the biggest purse all year. It's the biggest paycheck all year. It's the biggest. It's literally the biggest moment of your entire life. Bro, why would you not fight for this?
Rob. Sammy started like beating his chest. He's like, all right, let's go. And they start circling each other and shit. And they're showing the Mania logo. This is the moment where Prime Jim Ross would have been like, this is what it's all about. Intercontinental Championship athletes.
Bro, we need Morrow back, bro.
Mana.
Yo, bro, do you know what Mauro Ranallo would have been? Yo, Mauro Ranallo would have been these two fighters standing in the middle of the ring.
Would have dropped an Oscars reference.
Oh yeah. Oh man. We talk so about prestige entertainment. These two guys, they're like Scorsese and they're like
Scorsese and Tarantino.
Martin Scorsese couldn't direct a better ending to a prize fight. You talk about a raging bull. Look at these two bulls charging at each other. Monty, did you catch the Gunther package right before the match?
Yeah, it was tremendous.
In the moment when I was watching that, with the music and everything, I said something extremely hyperbolic. And you know what? I'll repeat it on air because we're all friends here. I don't know if this is true. I said this to a friend of mine, and he said, he asked me, he said, in what way? And I said, I don't even know. I said, Gunther is not only the best Intercontinental champion WWE's ever had, he is the best champion WWE's ever had. My friend was like, in what way? And I said, I don't even know. I don't even know. He is just that dude, bro. He's so incredible. The mid card really, I don't even want to give the booking too much credit. It's just that these guys are so fucking talented that, like, if you just let people like Chad Gable and Sami Zayn cook and Gunther and Ricochet and so on and so forth, like, of course it's gonna feel like the richest prize. These are the best wrestlers in the company, just getting to do their thing. Jonna, what did you think of the Gauntlet match?
Was I excited about the ending? No, because I'm like leader of the Gable Nation. Mm-hmm. But they cooked, you know. I give tens where they're due. I love Sami, so I'm happy for him. I think all around, you know, it was gonna be those two as, like, you know, the who's gonna get it. I don't know what's the word for it, but I'm glad that Sami does get to have his moment. I don't know. I'm holding out hope. I feel like Chad, he may be able to like get his way back in. I just don't feel like it's it for him because he's so over and everybody sees the potential with him. I don't think that they just cut him out just like that, but it was really solid, especially with the ending. It was like a storybook peak ending, especially for a Monday Night Raw episode. Like, let's be real, they were like giving us everything they had.
Yeah, they worked this like they were in the Tokyo Dome. Like, this wasn't a Raw main event to these dudes. It was like a pay-per-view, and like you could see the intensity ratchet up. That's why Chad Gable was bleeding from the mouth. The strikes got more stiff and everything. Here's my thing about the Gable thing. I don't want to say this, like, I can see how someone sees this as cope, but Monty, you tell me, like, Chad, after the Gunther loss, got de-emphasized, and they could have kept him de-emphasized, but they went out of their way to really hammer home like his desire to fight Gunther again and heat him back up and do this whole thing of like, now I'm going to get back on track. Now I'm going to get back on the winning path. They gave him a couple TV singles wins. They really hammered home the Intercontinental title thing. They had him go face to face with Gunther, and I feel like either they're just so stupid, and they did all of that to really get the Gable Mania hype, so to speak, back on track, just to beat him, or they did that because the intention is a multi-person match here. And as you pointed out to me off air, Monty, Kermit of Reddit, who is I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't know where he came from, but he is a consistently accurate scoopster. Someone posted the graphic of Sami Zayn versus Gunther and said official, and Kermit apparently replied and said, if I'm not mistaken, Monty basically just said like, that's not the match. Or like, no, right?
No, he just put someone posted. This is word for word. WWE Raw spoilers, as they normally do. Spoiler warning. Confirmed WWE Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 40, and it's the graphic of Gunther and Sami Zayn, obviously, as we already know. And he replied to it simply saying, "Nope." ... So what that means, what that doesn't mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I know, but that's what he said. So I don't know.
What do you think, Rob?
And obviously, after the points you've just made as well of what we've seen on, not even on TV, like the 5-minute promo that he did after the match and stuff. Like he said, he could have easily just been de-emphasized, and they kind of did make a point of doing that with him. So, as him doing the promo and stuff with him, and not de-emphasizing him. So I don't know. I do feel like there is some other steps here to.
God, my hair is hot.
To play out. But that being said, Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania is not something I myself am going to complain about.
No, of course not. That match is going to be unbelievable. The reason why I preferred Gable was because I wanted Sami to be in the Seth match, and in my mind, that would have made that match more interesting. While giving me so in my mind, that gives me two great matches that I care about. And now we're at like one that I care about that's great, and one that like I don't care about, but I know will be good on the night. And so it's a good outcome, and I was kind of leaning towards the great one. Rob, what do you think they end up doing here? Do you think there's something here that Chad Gable wasn't pinned on his shoulders?
What I want, because I can't cap, like, I don't care about a 3-way at this point. Like I don't really care about a triple threat match, because A, we did this last year, and B, even if Chad Gable wins, I hate the whole unless they pin Gunther, I hate the whole aspect of, oh, he didn't get pinned, so he's protected. Like I hate that shit. So I don't want a triple threat at all. What I'm hoping is that, and Eva said this was a horrible idea, but I don't care. I'm hoping that next week he's like, "Hey man, I know you didn't really lose, and I'm not. So I'm willing to put my shot on the line. I'm in a match against you tonight, and we get them part 2, and they just go crazy."
Yeah,
I like that.
Maybe Gable just wrestles him at Backlash or something,
So here's the deal.
Oh, he should have his Mania moment.
I want
the moment should be beating Gunther, bro.
I want all the best. Well, here's the thing. My general philosophy is just I want all the Triple H loves just pushing certain things off. I want all the best wrestlers at WrestleMania. And look, I'm actually, I thought I was against it, but now that Gable's off and I watched this promo, like I'm not gonna complain if they make it a 3-way, because even though Gunther and multi-mans, that's not his natural thing. With the right people, he's going to have an incredible match. And we saw it last year when I was kind of iffy on like Gunther doing a 3-way with Drew and Sheamus, and it was tremendous. And I think this year, in a different way, Sami Zayn, Gable, and Gunther will be equally tremendous. I don't think Gunther's losing that match. I just don't think it happens. Yeah, I don't think he loses. I think Triple H, I figured out what he's doing here. Monty, I think that he's looking at the world title scene, right? And he's like, all right, I'm going to give this to Drew, and then Drew's going to drop it either to Sami Zayn or CM Punk. And I think he sees that for the first time.
Sami before Punk's even back, probably.
Sure. And so because of it, Monty, I think that Triple H is like, I'm not giving Gunther the world title for the foreseeable future, so why drop the IC title right now? I think he's gonna hold this IC belt, Monty, until like, God, I don't even know, for a few more months. Bash of Berlin, which is gonna be built around him. That's in like August. So we'll see what they end up doing there. But I think
I've got this. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go.
okay.
This is my prediction. So I did my big prediction for the Mania main event, which I guess was half right because my prediction was Dwayne isn't wrestling this side of Mania, and Roman and Cody was going to be the main event at night too. So obviously I was wrong about Dwayne because he's wrestling in the tag match, and I was right about Roman and Cody finishing his story. I hope. So this is my prediction for the IC World Heavyweight title convoluted shit that's going on right now. Sami's wrestling Gunther in a singles match at WrestleMania for the IC title, and he's going to lose. And it's going to be devastating, and it's going to be part of this story that they've been trying to build with Sami, where he's questioning himself, but he wants to be a champion, and he's trying to prove it to himself. But he's going to lose that match against Gunther because it's fucking Gunther. And then Drew is going to come out of WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. They're going to go back to what they've already been building with Drew and Sami, where Drew has been just this roadblock in the road for Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn is eventually going to overcome that, and his finishing of this particular story for Sami is going to be beating Drew McIntyre. And then the ghost from WrestleMania in Gunther is going to come back and beat Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before all this, he's already dropped the IC title to probably Gable at like Backlash or some shit. Then that's how we get from Seth to Drew to Sami to Gunther, which is quite a long prediction, but that's what I'm going with right now.
I'll tell you what, that's very sound and very realistic. I'll tell you what, Monty, do you know when Money in the Bank? You know where Money in the Bank is emanating from?
Go on.
Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Bing, bang, boom. And I'll tell you what, these belts are going to be on full-time wrestlers, whether it be Drew, Sami, and then eventually Gunther. And so,
what belt is going to be on a full-time wrestler?
The World Heavyweight Championship will be, throughout this whole period, it's going to be on full-time wrestlers, right? Okay. And because of that, I think it makes 2 to 3 month reigns not as short as it would sound. Because
what about the Universal title?
Rob, listen, let me finish my point. Like, my point is, relax. Don't do that. I'll kick you out of the stream. My point is this: like, if Drew holds it for like 3 months and Sami only holds it for 2, right? That seems short relative to what WWE's been doing with these world titles. But in my view, if you do 2 TV title defenses a month, it's not actually that short in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like, if they're both having like kick-ass matches for the belt on TV, and they each get like 6-7 defenses underneath their belt before they drop it, to me that's fine. And you know what? WWE needs to stop fucking fetishizing these like long reigns for every fucking
bro. Because listen, I've been watching a lot of not 09 Raw, because 09 Raw is bad, but 09 SmackDown is good because they got Jericho and Ray and stuff like that. So I've been watching a lot of 09 SmackDown and watching some old rest. Yo, you don't have to have these people have like 8-year-long title reigns, bro.
Literally.
During the hottest period ever for the WWE, Mankind won the title on January 4th, then lost it at the Royal Rumble 3 weeks later, then won it back like a week later on Halftime Heat, and then lost it back at the pay-per-view. That's like 4 times. And I'm not saying you should do 4.
No, that was insanity.
Hold on. I'm not saying you should do 4 title changes in 1 month. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I'm saying you could do, like Ibu just said, you could do 2-month reigns. You can do 3-month reigns. You can either do 4 or 5-month reigns. But past 6 months needs to end. Unless you're our tribal chief, you can hold it as long as you want to. You can break Bruno's record if you want to. It's fine. So.
Monty, before you go, how does this thought sound? I'm not saying this would happen. This would actually be the peak scenario. Can you imagine if Gunther we got 2 Gunther matches at Mania, and he faced Sami on one night, and he faced Gable on the other night.
Oh my god,
that would be pornographic. Heavy pornographic.
Pornographic.
Heavy
Jesus.
pornographic.
Woo.
Oh man.
It's Gunther's just great, you know. He's just great, but I guess to Rob's point, then I'll get out of it for sure. Yeah, man. I think not everyone needs these like 6+ month title reigns, man. I think those longer reigns should be reserved for when you're really making a point of like this is the guy, you know, like. So, for example, like Cody Rhodes should have a pretty substantial reign when he wins the belt off Roman if he does it on night 2. But as I just said for the World Heavyweight Championship scene, it's like, you know, how many total changes did I just lay out? And this is all like before August. So like,
Yep. I think
people are having like 6-week reigns and shit in more.
Look, and that's fun. Listen, you can contrast that with Cody can be the stable 1-year title champ. You know,
No.
The thing is, that's the thing. Cody won't be champion. I don't know why you keep like saying.
I'm getting out of here with Rob saying these profanities.
right.
You know,
Monty,
so have a
thank
good
you for
pod.
joining us on the Wrestle Pierce
Keep
Raw
sending them
Review.
super chats and appreciate the
Bye,
support.
Monty.
Let's
Boss man.
Take care, Monty.
I don't know what you're talking. Like you keep saying this like hypothetical that's just never gonna happen. Like ever.
Rob, he is. I'm like 97% sure Cody Rhodes is winning and finishing his story.
You're saying in public. Okay, tweet it. Tweet it right now.
No, I'm not doing that.
No,
Tweet it.
Tweet it right
Tweet
now.
it. You came late, so you have to tweet it.
I'm not doing that. Listen, free country,
Chat.
guys.
I can't
guys,
wait.
This
for
is
when
the
Cody
Wrestle
wins.
review. We just did this backwards where we did the big conversation first, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. There's still some stuff to get into here with some of the women's division stuff in the undercard of the show. But before we get to that, guys, again, give us some of your feedback. What do you think they're going to do here? What do you think about the Chad Gable situation? And just send that through super chats. We're going to go through some of them right now. Rob, let's start running these super chats up and going through this.
Alrighty, we got the first super chat from Hush, $4.99. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fine with Sami. Gunther has more meat on the bone for his reign with guys like Andrade and Rico. Part 3 actually would be part 4, but and more. Real fumble is Sami winning.
I don't agree.
That's the thing, bro. I don't.
Sami is solid. I feel like since they were like building up Gable so much, I guess like because I was one of the people as well who was like, oh, he has to win, he has to take it. There's no way that he's not gonna advance. And now you're just like, oh man, like everybody's let down. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even really surprised that Triple H went that route because he's been very adamant about there not being any fairy tale endings. Stories aren't going to be finished. So, but Sami will do what he needs to do for sure.
There you go. Hush, thank you so much for the super chat. What's up, Rob?
Really quick, I just don't want to see not that I don't want to see Gunther versus Andrade. I want to see Gunther versus Andrade for like a world title shot. I'm not trying to see that for the IC title. Like I get it, but it's time, bro. It's Gunther's time for the world title. And it's Chad's time for the IC title.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's starting to outgrow the belt in the sense that like he is absolutely now at a level where he should be fighting for the world title, and yeah, so let's just kind of get to it. But again, like I said, I think what's happening is he's delaying the transition because he wants to service people like Drew McIntyre first, who, to be fair, has been waiting for a bit now, and he does deserve to win the world championship based off the work that he's been producing.
But the good part is, at least the IC title has been rebuilt in a sense to where it feels like what it used to be. Back in the 80s and the 90s, where it's a stepping stone for the world title.
100%. Gunther's 100% transitioning to the world title. And hey, man.
He needs to. It's about time.
Yep. Thank you so much. We got a little smoke here, $4.99. Zayn and Gable was pure mana through my veins. That's big facts, brother. That was a mana clash right there. Just as Chad Gable himself said, Rob, in the post-match promo, he was like, that was just a battle of wills. You know, he said I didn't feel like, he was talking about it. He's like, look, man, he didn't best me in a contest. It was just a battle of wills. And look, maybe I got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe I got to train differently. But You know, he said, I didn't feel like I was beaten. He just, he outmaneuvered me with his technique and rolled me up. And pure mana, absolutely.
Pure mana.
Yeah, you got to slap the arm. Go, John, you can read this one.
All right, Wavy sent 199. Bronson beat Okada and assumed he was coming in Diffie.
My man came in this match. He beat Ricochet, which made me mad. And then Sami Zayn handled business. So that looks to be it for Big Bronson Reed. He's going to almost certainly be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Or future endeavored.
I don't think he'll be future endeavored, but I just don't think on the totem pole of relevancy he's high enough to be a priority right now. So.
Oh, not at all.
Do a flip.
I do not need
Bronson Reed, do a flip challenge.
Don't do a flip. You're gonna hurt yourself. Don't do that.
Bronson Reed.
Don't do that.
He really had me weak when Okada was singing. He posted that dumb photo of Okada. Please don't ever.
I forgot what NXT match we watched of him, but it was somebody and he was moving. He was going crazy. We need that. We don't want to see you do wrist locks, bro. We don't. I'm not trying to see you do wrist locks.
Bronson Reed.
Lame. $4.99. This draws the path for Drew versus Sami, Money in the Bank, Toronto for the World Heavyweight Championship, assuming Drew won. SummerSlam or earlier.
Oh man, it's just
Gable has to take the back seat.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love the Drew idea. I think that's very possible and probable, honestly. But the Gable thing, it just feels like it just feels like he's getting fucked over here, and
it really does.
And the other thing is, if you noticed, so they're doing tag qualifiers next week, and the winning teams will be in the ladder match. Alpha Academy's in the qualifier, but it's not Chad in the match. It's Tozawa and Otis. So they've clearly made the distinction now. Chad's the singles guy, and Tozawa, Otis are like that's like the little like underneath, pretty much jobber adjacent team representing Alpha Academy, and Chad's not associated with them. And like Chad said, he was like, bro, I don't want to be in some multi-man fucking like bullshit fest. You know, that's why, because they could have, Rob, if they could have done a thing where if they just wanted Gable on the card, like last year he was in the tag team showcase. This year, he could have just been in the match with Otis, won the qualifier, and Otis and Chad are in the ladder match. But that's not what they're doing. So again, we'll see what ends up happening.
Bro, because the money is in singles Chad Gable. Like I love Otis.
And he knows it. He knows it.
Yeah, the money is in, bro. He literally looks like prime Kurt Angle without he looks like prime. He literally works like prime Angle without the usage. So yeah, like it's crazy.
He
needs to put in a mouth guard and be like, yeah.
My god,
he's literally sober.
Could you imagine if Chad Gable started wearing a mouthpiece, Rob?
Bro, right now he's sober. 2003 Angle.
Yeah, he is so fucking good. Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers in the world, in my opinion.
Everybody who's making a movement for Cody to finish his story, they need to make a movement for Chad Gable, because honestly, he's been serving week in and week out, and the talent is there, and him being so over is there. So that's who needs to have a movement made.
He's an amazing wrestler. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Alrighty, Hush, another 199. Also, it's not like Gunther is holding the IC title hostage.
I look at it like this. If you ask me, are there future tape matches you could still do with him as champ? My answer would be like, at this point, Andrade and then like a one more match with Sheamus would be my answer to that.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I personally
wish that Sheamus could be pushed a little more, because when he does have a match, it is banger after banger, and that is true.
He's also tremendous. Yeah,
so y'all see Sheamus Twitter?
No,
he's been very interesting.
Yo, before he deactivated, he was like, "Huh, y'all see I made Gunther tap out, huh?"
Yeah. He wanted to make it very clear. Yeah, I did see that.
Well, he should. I love Sheamus.
Well, let's see. Anyway,
Part of the problem is, guys, is there's so many good wrestlers in the company, and WWE, instead of dispersing them across
the views, like
Rob,
the boom, dynamite.
they're fitting them all into this IC title division, and so you're like, as a fan, being stretched thin when it comes to like your investment in these people. And to me, it's like, why can't great wrestlers also fight for the world title? Why can't they fight for the other world title? But because like those feel like their own kind of like orbits and islands, you get all these good wrestlers who kind of just like circle Gunther and cycle in and out of fighting Gunther. And I just wish it was dispersed more, so that first and foremost, I could get more great wrestling on these shows and the pay-per-views, especially because they have the roster to have great matches like regularly. You know, with Sheamus and Andrade and Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. You know, they shouldn't all be fighting for one piece of the pie, and that pie being Gunther's side.
Yeah, bro. Like, hey, man. Is what it is. Bluey, 200 rupees.
Bluey.
5-star Cody promo. Damn. 5-star Cody promo asking his fans to live vicariously through him. His arc over the last year and where he is now are great. The tag and Drew stories are intricately interwoven, and a good week for Rhea and Becky.
What an articulate and eloquent super chat. The tag and Drew stories are intricately interwoven.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I agree. John Alba made a tweet that was seen as kind of controversial, but what he basically was saying was like, there's never been a time in WWE where like there's been this much depth to the storytelling, even compared to like past eras. And I actually have to agree, but I mean, look, they have really what it is just that they have people that have written for other shows and other mediums on board right now, and they don't have Vince McMahon in the way blocking it and trying to dumb down the shows. So that's kind of why there's more depth to the narratives on Raw and SmackDown, and the characters have all these motivations. Like, look at last night. We got to see a cerebral side of Chad Gable and his with the video package going into the match, and like we got to hear from everybody going into the IC Gauntlet match. My problem with this regime is not that, though. My problem is that, as we discussed earlier, is Triple H is the slowest paced storyteller of all fucking time, and you can embrace just, you know, speeding things up a little bit. You know what I mean? But thank you for the super chat, Bluey, and the 200 rupees.
KO 500. I forgot. 500 Mexican pesos. Hunter has a thing for booking conceptually great stuff in the most annoying way possible. Sami versus Gunther will be ace.
It's crazy how he does this. You know.
Don't care. Where's Chad versus Gunther?
I guess we'll see you next week. Kale, thank you so much for the super chat.
Paul needs to stop like being such a negative Nancy. Like, let people finish their stories for real.
Yeah, and you know what's stupid about it, John? That people are saying like you can't have too many babyface title victories at WrestleMania. I'm like, why not? It's supposed to be fucking like
babyface. Listen, oh my god, I'm so glad that you just said this about the babyface thing. Not everybody can be a heel. Sometimes it's forced. Sometimes people just don't have it in them to be heel. Sometimes people just need to play the role of just being the good guy who never backs down, never gives up. Not everybody is good at being a heel. A heel, you have to be really charismatic. You have to know how to work the crowd. Not everybody knows how to do that, even if they are a good wrestler.
Yeah, this is alluding to the people who said maybe Chad's turning. What I was going to say, though, John, is like people are saying like, you know, you can't do it because like, you know, Chad winning on Mania and Bayley winning and Cody winning and this person winning. Like, that's too many happy endings. And I'm like, bro, WrestleMania should be generally one big happy ending. It's WrestleMania.
Literally.
I don't think, guys in the chat, you let me know. Would you be upset if WrestleMania was just full of happy endings and good guys winning up and down the card? I don't think anybody would be like, this show is too happy. This show is too positive. Maybe Rob.
I don't know if anybody just saw, but I just used the bottom of my lip gloss to open a can.
Yeah, that's insane. Listen.
Bro.
It's just that it's ew.
The idea of heat and beatdown angles and heel heat, the idea of all that is to blow it off in like a happy and satisfying thing at the big show. This is the big show. We don't like let's get some happiness. You know, we don't.
No,
we have to stagger the happiness across the calendar. No.
Bro,
As a Mercedes Moné, FK Sasha Banks fan, we haven't had a happy ending in WrestleMania for like 6 years straight.
Exactly. For
bro,
sure.
it's just that at the end of the day, bro, wrestling bad. So, Jay Stone, $5. Can y'all see Gable's failed attempt at getting back at Gunther? Getting back to Gunther, sorry, as the start of a heel turn. Also, please give Ricochet a proper direction post Mania. Amen.
I agree.
Listen, I love Ricochet. I want Ricochet to succeed. I wish Ricochet all the success in the world. It should have been Ricochet going to the going on like up against Sami to basically get to Gunther. I'm not to get to Gunther, to get to Gable, and that's the way it should have been. I don't think it should have been Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn. Like I love Sami Zayn selling and all of that, but I really would have loved to seen an interaction between current Sami Zayn and current Ricochet. So,
Yo, shout out to his Ricochet shout out though, bro. Like he's so good.
yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you fucking marks, bro. You fucking marks on Twitter. You fucking WWE fans, bro. That just hate Ricochet because he's not fucking The Rock, or he's not Steve Austin, or he's not fucking I don't know.
But he's
not
bald like the both of them, so I don't know why the
Here's
WWE
my
fans
thing, though.
don't
They
like
hate
him.
him. They
he
hate
can't cut a
all the things.
promo.
Bro,
But he's so good. Oh my god,
Legitimately,
Ricochet.
Jonna, there are people that legitimately think The Miz is a better professional wrestler than
Are you
Ricochet
serious?
because
Yeah.
of the promo,
Listen,
because of a promo.
I have to
They're
say,
so,
like, honestly, I hate to be this person. But I hate how you guys will push, not you guys, not WP, not my guys, but how you guys, the fans, will push the dumbest shit possible and just say it for the sake of, you not wanting to try something new. The problem is everybody wants to be stuck in nostalgia. They want the next person, whoever it was that was popular in the 90s. Ricochet is good. Ricochet is
Exactly.
good. Just because he doesn't fit into the mold, everybody, you want to know why there's a lot of baby faces who don't go over or who had like a peak for like a 3-month push or something? It's because they're cookie cutter. If nobody's unique, it doesn't work. And
That's
people like
facts.
Ricochet work. And then you guys are gonna be like, let's say God forbid he decides to leave or he gets thing, you guys are gonna be the first ones to be like, oh my god, WWE fumbled him. No, you guys fumbled him.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing about it, Jonna. The bottom line is that why do we always have to focus on what these guys can't do when wrestling should be about maximizing what people can do? And when you look at Ricochet, he does things on that show in the ring that not everybody else on the roster can do. And on WWE's show specifically, he stands out because of it. He can do this like a lot, he can do the hyper athletic modern style, like hybrid for high flying wrestling. And he's versatile, and he can do some hard hitting shit. He did a fucking apron Death Valley driver, and he's throwing forearms and uppercuts and shit. He's so awesome. And the bottom line is this: when I tune into a 3-hour show on a Monday, if you have an option of watching 10 minutes of Ricochet doing fucking flips or fucking The Miz,
Bro,
give me Ricochet. And anybody that disagrees is mentally enslaved.
Bro, listen, like, and I was like a Miz advocate, you know what I'm saying? But like, realistically, I know in my brain that Ricochet is a better professional wrestler than the Miz. Yeah, Ricochet might not be like the fucking greatest, might not be Roddy Piper when it comes to promos, but like, Jesus, bro, like
Half the fucking champions can't even cut promos. Let's be real. Oh.
90% of your favorite wrestlers getting signed from getting viral is 90% of your favorite wrestlers that are signed most likely off of clips with Ricochet.
Exactly.
Bro, the bottom line is this: is just you can work around his weaknesses. If he's not the best promo, you can do pre-tapes. They did it. They literally proved it by doing it last night. He did a fucking pre-tape. And guess what? It was totally fine.
Roman Reigns was a horrible promo. Are we forgetting Suffering Succotash?
He sucked.
What's going on?
He was stinky. So
Yo, there's a 30-second, there's like a 2-minute video, like a compilation of Roman Big Dog promos that I posted, and
awful.
yo, they're so
Terrible.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrible.
Because I'm gonna forget line. Yeah, you better believe that.
Literally. Yeah. I'm sorry. Half the promos that everybody wants to say is good, they rely on using the word bitch, where it's like if you have to use it just to get yourself over and get a reaction from the crowd, you're not a good promo. Or you have to take cheap shots, right? That have to do with real life situations. Or you have to reuse or force down a catchphrase 50,000 times in said promo just so that the fans could be like, and they don't even work. And they don't work. They don't work. So I'm sorry. Him not being a good promo, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather somebody be trash on the mic, but if I'm thoroughly sports entertained, that's okay. Period.
Thank you for the super chat, Jay.
Got me so heated. I'm trying to be positive.
No, I love the passion there. You spoke facts. Will Chisholm, $10. Do y'all think Rhea holds the title till next Mania and face Bianca, where the tag title is or the tagline is title versus streak? Because we know Triple H is holding that one back. I kind of want them to do it. I know y'all are like, no, I kind of want them to do it.
I don't.
Listen, yes, this is exactly what I want. I think Ricky Rhea should hold the title till next Mania and face Bianca, because listen, this reign, like as popular as she is, and as on top of the wrestling business as she might seem, because she's a hot, like of course, because she's in WWE, she's in the biggest company in the world, but realistically, this reign, wrestling wise, has not been good. She's been given matches with Zoe Stark and got girls like Zoe Stark and Indy and all these other girls. And they, while like Indy's a bad wrestler, but and Shayna's a good like a good, fairly decent, not what she used to be, but she's still a decent wrestler. The point is, all these girls were basically either not used or killed by Vince McMahon. So what does that mean? That means that they were not able to be on TV and be presented as household names, so nobody knows who the fuck these people are. So when you put Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark in Chicago, keep in mind that Zoe Stark is not a good promo at all in any sense of the word. You take that into effect, you're basically putting her up against somebody that's not a star. And I'm not saying that Rhea Ripley should be a star merchant. That's not what I'm saying. The point is that none of the people, you can face somebody that's a lower tier wrestler, but they can still be established, is what I mean. Like and still have and still have a decent match. And that's why all these people, because they don't know what Zoe Stark's character is, so they're not gonna. That's why the match was silent and heatless. But if you put her up against somebody like Mia Yim who gets reactions, I think she'll have a way better match.
Yeah,
I don't think she should hold it though till next Mania. I'm gonna tell you why. Even I'm gonna quote Mr. Well, not quote. I'm paraphrasing the shit out of this. But Triple H literally always says that it's a constantly moving machine. And stories don't need to always end. We have people like Jade Cargill. We have Nia Jax. Am I too crazy about Liv? No. Put these other girls. Push them. Because some of these girls are good and they need to be put in that spotlight. Leave it for like WrestleMania 42, 43. When Bianca is probably... Because how old is she now?
She's like 30. She I know she passed 30.
Wait,
she's like 33, right?
Who, Bianca?
Yeah, she's like 33.
In her early 30s. No, she's like 33.
Right, she's like 33 and when she depending on when 34. She wants to retire.
34.
34. Depending on when she retires or wants to retire, that could be a good match to have. What? We're gonna have another continuous lackluster reign where she's like, I'm mommy, I'm mommy, I'm mommy. No. You know Becky's taking that title, by the way, too. But I am being biased, so. And I want to see Jade be champion.
Listen, we'll see where it goes, I guess. Guys, we'll do this live on air. It's just a backstage meeting here. I'll leave it up to you guys, and I should low-key leave it up to the audience. I gotta go in 23 minutes, so I'm gonna give you guys an option. A, do you want to just speed run through the rest of this podcast in like super light speed, or B, do you want to just take over when I leave and hang out with the people for an additional whatever it's going to be, 15 to 20 to 30 minutes? It's totally up to you guys.
It's up to you, Rob.
It's up to you, Rod. You want to just hang out with John and finish up the show when I'm out of here?
I would, but I got some stuff to do.
You are so lazy.
Listen,
You are
brother.
so lazy.
No, it's called. I have responsibilities and priorities. Ibu.
It would be like an additional 15-ish minutes. All right, well, folks, just know that this is going another 22 minutes because of Rob. So
everybody, let's make a mean hashtag for Rob.
Yeah, because I got 22 minutes here, and you could have just picked up where I left off and just finished this up for another 20 minutes or so. But you didn't. You don't.
Everybody put hashtag Thug Rob.
He was saying John a solo podcast. She can't run StreamYard though. Rob's the one running the StreamYard.
Let John a solo in the future.
Yeah, right. All right, yeah, this is Rob's fault, but it is what it is, I guess. We only have 22 minutes here. When we're having a good time, too. I'm going to have to speed run through these super chats, and then I'm going to get back to the Raw recap. All right, so, let's see here. Rob, go to the next super chat.
All right, a Will Chisholm, a $5. Is it safe to say that if Punk didn't come back at what the fuck? What the? Oh, you said the plane, bro. I was like, what do you mean the plane? What plane, nigga? That the plan was Seth versus Gunther title for title at Mania.
No, the plan was Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. There was a brief moment in time where Gunther versus Seth was considered, but the original plan before Punk came back was Gunther versus Seth. And even when Punk did come back, actually, holy shit. You're actually right. I got my timeline mixed up. It was Gunther Seth. Then when Punk came back, they moved Gunther to Brock. That's what the timeline was. So that's what they're going to do. Thank you for the super chat, Will.
Honestly,
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just thinking about Brock versus Gunther because it would have been so good to see Gunther beat Brock. I don't like the grand stage of WrestleMania, but Brock ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
Doug. We could proceed.
Jumanji Hunter, $2. Kermit didn't say different match, but my understanding, he just said no. Meaning, I think what's likely the outcome is Gable being added to the match. What I would like personally is they just switch it around, but I think he's getting added. So, make that whatever you want to make of it. So.
All righty. Matt Hennessy, 599 euros. I'm not upset with Sami winning. He is great, but he should be fighting Drew and Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship, while Chad should be fighting Gunther. This 100%.
That would have been perfect. It would have made WrestleMania a better show, more exciting show. Because, like I said, Seth and Drew will be good, but it's hard for me to get like excited about it.
I'm not gagging about it.
Yeah, the thing about it is that Drew's gonna win and like he deserves it. But am I like waking up in the morning like, oh man, in a month Seth and Drew are fighting? It's like, no, I've seen it before. They'll have another very good match, and that's it. So
yeah,
I agree.
There's another one from Matt Hennessy, 599 euros. I'm guessing for a tag qualifiers next week, DIY, New Day, and Awesome Truth qualify. Really enjoyed the
Elevation.
The elevation.
Did you just make that word up, Matt Hennessy?
Bro, you know what's funny? I was looking away and I thought, is Rob unable to read the word elevation? And I checked. I'm like, oh, I spelled it.
Because I was
elevated.
Well, we'll just cover this now since we're gonna have to do this unconventionally. DIY is facing the Creeds. New Day are facing the jobbers of the Alpha Academy, and Awesome Truth are facing Indus and qualifiers. And so Matt's prediction here is likely that these three teams that he named will be the ones in the ladder match. So it's a shame the Creeds probably won't be in it. I wonder if they're in the doghouse. We don't have time to get into it now, but they would have been amazing in this match. So we'll see what ends up happening.
All right. Black Yakuzu, 94, $5. The Attitude Era has done irreparable damage to the IWC's perception of wrestling and what it quote unquote should be. Oh, brother.
I have a counterpoint.
Thank you
I think it
for
actually
sending this.
I think it actually damaged how WWE runs their TV
Oh,
because
brother.
no, I mean this in a sense that like they did a lot of novel things at the time to be successful, like the opening long promo, the main character babyface that's like really funny and tells like it's very quippy like The Rock, right? So on and so forth, car crash angles, A, B, C, and D. And what they started to do was they're like, oh, it's the formula that made us win. So we're gonna just plug all our new wrestlers into that formula. And really, what they should have known was the reason why we were successful is because like The Rock and Stone Cold are generational superstars. And so, like for example, in the mid 2000s, you'll see like John Cena like just being a comedian, and I'm like, they're only doing this because Rock was a comedian. But like, it is, and I'm not saying John Cena's not funny at all, but like, you know what I mean? Like over the years, like every top babyface has to be funny and shit, and like. They always have to structure goes a certain way and so on and so forth. It was done because Raw was successful doing that like 25 years ago. And the truth of the matter is, you should tailor how you structure your product around the strengths of your best wrestlers. And at that time, The Rock and Stone Cold were so dynamic that the show being based around them and what they're good at makes sense. That doesn't mean that that's what everybody should be plugged into. So that's kind of my retort to that. Thank you for the Black Yakuza.
I'm sorry, there's a comment by Austin Kinkle and it said the stink of 1999 still lingers.
It's pretty funny.
I'm so mad that Attitude Era stacks mad paper and rides on
It
chrome
does
and
stack
fucks
paper,
mad
but you know
bad
what? You know what soils it, Rob? You know what soils it is when you have them trying to like recreate it, but watered the fuck down.
Yeah. We don't need to do that. I'd rather a product that just is based around the best wrestlers right now.
I love the Attitude Era. Listen, I don't think it'll ever be topped, but to see them constantly try to push these people into characters that have already happened and they're not even doing it right, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
There's ways to like love something and like be able to move on at the same time, So
y'all are so mad.
Do we have any other super chats, Rob?
Will Chisholm for $10. The WWE fans who don't like workers need to look at the booker who made his name booking NXT with great wrestlers. But most of them are Vince fans who don't like the wrestlers Triple H like.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no clue what he's saying.
Yeah, me neither. All right, let's try to decipher. The WWE fans.
Okay. I get it. The WWE fans who don't like the wrestlers, like the actual work rate wrestlers, need to look at the booker Triple H, who made his name booking the great wrestlers who they quote unquote have no personality. Is basically what they're trying to say. What he's trying to say.
Great.
Basically, like look at your favorite booker who's booking these quote unquote shitty shitters that have no personality.
My favorite booker is currently in Jacksonville. Oh no, actually he's currently on a plane to Boston.
Boston. AEW Big Business tomorrow.
Big
folks.
Business. Make sure to tune in on TBS or wherever you stream your AEW. If you are in the area, buy your last minute tickets. Thank you.
We're really excited for that, and we will be live reacting.
And follow me on Twitter because I'm gonna be tweeting up a storm.
100%. Thank you for your super chat, Will.
Scott. Sorry. Sorry.
Are you all right?
Yeah, sorry.
What
Scott.
the hell?
I have somebody clip.
Sorry. Scott, $13.99 Canadian. I feel like Gunther was always retaining at Mania. They're going on. Sorry, I was laughing at something in chat. I feel like Gunther was always retaining at Mania. They're going on a European tour in the Euro PLEs in spring/summer. I feel like they may want him to keep the title until some point in the summer. Boo!
I think it's
No, I need Gunther to be put in the world or universal title picture.
You don't want that. So, Hush, $4.99. Do y'all think they're going to make Punk ref for Seth and Drew? I can't figure out why they're bringing him in other than Raw being in Chicago. No, but I think they should put him in a chair in the corner on the outside of the ring. Because every wrestling match, every big time world championship match has the CM Punk corner. So, the CM Punk chair sits in the corner. So, you know how they do.
I do think Punk will be at WrestleMania. Well, actually, I know for a fact he'll be at WrestleMania, and he will be. And
the
also
cuck chair.
it's officially confirmed that he will be at the Chicago. So we'll see. I do think he's going to get involved in some respect with that World Heavyweight Championship match, as he's been creatively involved with both men in the match. Thank you for the super chat, Hush.
In the last super chat, Corey David, Obafemi squash tonight. Javon Evans up next. Actually, no, it is not going to be Obafemi squash because Buchanan Jr. is good. So
I'll tell you what, folks. We have 12 minutes left, and I want you to know that this is Rob's fault. He could have absolutely just picked up the slack and did an extra.
I have stuff to do, bro. Okay.
Rob, you could have just done an extra 15 minutes easily, but Rob is lazy and he doesn't love you guys. So we're going to
hashtag Thug Rob.
We're going to speed run through this, and we'll do it this way, folks.
Yeah, it's your fault, pretty boy. It's not my fault.
Anyways, there was an opening segment with Drew and Seth, and it was kind of weird and mid. And Seth was urging Drew McIntyre to hit him with a Claymore, and Drew didn't want to do it, and Seth came off like a dick. And that was kind of the opening segment. We had a big Liv Morgan Becky Lynch match that went 3 segments, and honestly, it was good. It was a good match. Becky Lynch has this knack. She's not her execution isn't like the sharpest or tightest. So this match wasn't like some fucking, again, it sure wasn't no Sami Zayn and Gable, but what it was, Becky has this knack of injecting like life and emotion to her matches, and so I thought it was like engaging and dramatic in that respects. And so,
really?
I thought it was good. I actually thought it was. I didn't like really like going in. I was like whatever about it, but like as it was going along, like, it started to come together into like something that was like worthwhile. And so I'm watching.
I would just want everybody to know I'm no longer going to be a hater. I'm spreading nothing but positivity from now on. So I will be withholding all of my negative comments.
Nah, let him fly. Who gives a shit? If you thought it sucked, just say it sucked. I
didn't think it sucked. I didn't think it sucked. I'm just glad that hopefully because Becky beat Liv, that we don't have to worry about any additions into this Mania match.
Yeah,
no more participation awards.
What I suspected was true. Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, their involvement with this build was just to kind of give both of the women busy work. And we know this because Liv got this match, and they set up something for her and Rhea down the line, and they were going to shake hands, Becky and Liv backstage, and Nia jumped Becky. Nia beat Becky on January 1st. They had a rematch, I think, last week, and it had no finish. And Becky challenged Nia Jax to a last women standing match. So next week at Raw, the trilogy ender, Becky versus Nia. I think Becky will decisively and conclusively get a huge win on Nia Jax next week. And it's smart because it's in a match where Nia doesn't.
What's your tweet say, Ibu? Emphatic.
Yep.
Manhandle slam and an emphatic 1, 2, 3.
Oh wow.
That was about
the words today, guys.
No, not 1, 2, 3. Last man, 10 count, whatever.
Ooh.
Nevertheless, so Nia's gonna lose to Becky, and she gets to like. They love doing this with monsters. They give them last man standing matches because you could beat them in like a gimmicky way, and you don't have to pin them. So that's what they're gonna do with Becky Lynch. So that'll be cool. And thanks for staying a singles match with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. Elsewhere on the show, let's look around here. We talked about the tag title situation. They're doing this Max Dupree bullying angle, which I don't think is a bad idea, but I think the execution was horrible. And the less said about that, the better. I thought it stunk, and the whole like dialogue in the ring thing was just like executed in a really tacky fashion.
Yeah, that shit was ass.
Yeah, they could have just, I don't know. You could have used that dialogue in like a backstage segment or interview. Again, the idea
even
of, like,
so.
I don't mind them doing a Maxine bullying angle. I just don't think the way they executed it was good at all. I thought it was terrible. So
I know how this is gonna end. It's gonna end the way Candace turning into the poison pixie or whatever freaking fairy she was in NXT ended. She got no pops half the time. and it was all forced. What color is she gonna dye her hair now? What, a dark purple?
Oh boy, stay tuned for that, I guess. Other
Oh,
parts of the
sorry.
show.
It was just, I fell asleep because how you started talking about fucking Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, and I blacked out. No,
Rob,
I like Candice LeRae. Don't like Indy Hartwell. Didn't care for the segment. Thought it was a little bit much. It is what it is.
do you think Andrade's joining the Judgment Day, Rob? Because he had a backstage segment with them,
Yes.
and Dom has the Dom co-sign. Rhea Ripley clearly wants some Latino heat, and Finn Balor seems to be on board, but Damian Priest was the one who seemed to kind of like to push
The
back.
Judgment Day needs a real Latino man.
I'm actually very interested to see where this goes. They clearly have an idea of some kind. I'm not able to piece out what it is yet, but it does appear that they're interested in him. They're scouting him. Andrade, at least right now, is playing nice with them, and Dominic appears to be his in. So I wonder if he kicks out Damian Priest and takes over the group, or he's just fucking with them, and this leads to something with him and Dominic. So we shall see, I suppose. What would be interesting, and I don't have time to get into it now, but what would be interesting is if they I don't know, if they just if both guys, Dominic and Andrade, found their way into this like LWO versus Legado storyline, because I think the perfect match for Mania, if it was up to me, I would do Dragon Lee, Andrade, and Ray versus
Ooh.
Santos, Dominic, and whoever else you want to put on the heel side. That would be really absolutely. So we'll see what happens there with Andrade. The story will continue there. Dominic was out this week because he got married, so congratulations to him. He will be back on next week. Jey Uso challenged Jimmy Uso to a match at WrestleMania. The promo was hot. The crowd loved him. So shout out to Jey. I would like more depth to this storyline because it was this big dark story of the brothers turning on each other, and there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of bloodline lore that they could bring up, and I hope it does get brought up because right now it's been boiled down to Yeet versus no Yeet, and that's very stupid.
I agree. Listen, the last time, correct me if I'm wrong, we had a brother versus brother thing was WrestleMania 25 with Jeff and Matt, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to cook because that storyline cooked. Okay, they made it seem like, because I remember when Jeff's dog died, they made it seem like Matt had something to do with it, and it was so good. Like, please do not with this Yeet no Yeet. This is not Vine. Okay, it's 2024. Vine has been shut down for close to a decade now. They could really cook though if they do bring in the bloodline lore. I feel like it'll be really, really good.
Yeah, there's a lot to do there. I think so. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's see what else we have here. Throughout the night, they were doing video packages for the competitors in the Intercontinental title Gauntlet. We had a Kabuki Warriors versus Shayna and Zoe Stark match, and I gotta say, it was one of the better TV Kabuki Warrior tags. I rewatched this, and it was pretty good. Zoe Stark looked especially sharp in this match, and Kyrie looked less, I don't know, lost would be the word. She was doing her thing. Asuka was doing her thing. And just generally speaking, it was a very respectable women's tag title match, which unfortunately is not a common thing. Sometimes you get a lot of these women tag matches that like are not only are they not heated, they're not very good. But this one I thought was a good match. I don't know if you agree or disagree with me, Rob, on the women's tag title match of the Kabuki Warriors.
It was good. It was good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a step in the right direction for the Kabuki Warriors, and as advertised, Bailey will be having her singles match with Dakota Kai on SmackDown.
What the Kabuki Warriors said? What Carl Anderson say? Couple thousand people will go crazy. 400 people, nah.
Yeah, they're definitely bright lights players. We'll end this by talking about the Cody Rhodes interview. He sat down with Michael Cole, and essentially he called back to an interview he had in October about what inning they were in, and Cody emphatically declared that we are finally in the last inning. Paul Heyman said that they were third inning. He says now we're in the last inning. He got very emotional talking about what finishing the story means, and he really put over his mother, who's like all he has left. He put over his sister, his brother. He put over Brandon, who he said she took a shot at him when he was just like a guy in a dorky mask taking RKOs every night, when he was Stardust. And so he was talking about how he's doing it for his wife, his kids, his family. So for the kids with
He's
cancer
a real
that
man.
come, yeah, absolutely. For the kids with cancer that come to the arena, for the blind children that come to house shows, all those people being a total babyface about it. And with all this, he basically just said like he's going to beat Roman Reigns. He's going to finish the story, and Michael Cole will finally declare that a Rhodes is holding the world title. So I'm going to end this podcast by telling you, Rob, that Cody's going to fucking do it, and there's nothing you could do about it.
Nigga, I don't want to hear it verbally. Nigga, tweet it. I want it in writing. Tweet it.
Cody Rhodes is going to finish
the
story.
Tweet it. Right now.
Tweet it.
Cody Rhodes is going to finish.
I know.
Ladies, and do we have any super chats left, Rob?
No, this was the last one.
Folks, Cody's going to finish the story. I'm going to finish my story and get a haircut. I love you guys.
We need to begin a new story tomorrow, though, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on TBS for AEW Big Business, where we will be in Boston.
We'll see you guys for that tomorrow. This was the Wrestle Pierce Rob review. So for Jana, for Rob's lazy bum ass, I am Ibu Wrestle Pierce, and I'll see you guys next time.